You are tuning into the Goldylocks Productions presentation of the Spiritual Insight Show with Reverend Tiffany White Sage Woman.
Welcome everyone to the Spiritual Insight Show. I'm Reverend Tiffany White Sage Woman, and my dog's in the background. So welcome everyone, and thank you for finding me, because I think some of you were somewhere else or trying to find me. But as long as you go to the Goldylocks Productions page, you will find this show, and keep that in mind for the future. All right. So, and welcome everyone to on Spreaker Radio. Thank you so much, and for joining us there as well. All right. So let me see. Say hello, Teresa. Yay! And hello, Wendy. Yay! Welcome. Thank you for joining us in this sacred circle. And look, I just have so much fun every Sunday with everyone. Oh, Sarah, Anthony, and Austin. Oh, much love to you as well, all of you. So we're just giving it a moment for everyone to find the show. Like I said, there's not a specific link. You just have to find it on the Goldylocks Productions page for right now. So welcome everyone, and thank you. Let everyone settle into the sacred circle as everyone's coming in. And just sending you love and light. There we go. Yeah. And we have this sacred circle for those that are new and watching, either live or in the archives, and listening on radio, live on Spreaker. And this sacred circle has a lot of very powerful light workers and healers. And whether you feel like you are or not, if you're drawn to this sacred circle, you are. Ooh. Anyway, I know, right? So we are in some very powerful times. We know this. That's just going to be the standard from now on, forever and ever and ever. We are in powerful ascension times, and it's just going to be a crazy ride for us. But the thing is just to stay focused, stay in the upper vibration, stay in that, as we are, stay in that upper space, that space of, I call cosmic heart energy, that love, that divine love. Stay in that space to help us get through, because we are really purging on an extremely fast level now, to where it can make us feel crazy, like our heads are spinning, or just agitation. Let me say that. It can make you feel agitated and irritated. So we also right now, since July 26th, we have the Lionsgate portal opening. All right. July 26th. And this is when, just gonna, for those maybe who aren't aware, who aren't familiar with it, this started July 26th, and it's when the sun, the earth, and the star Sirius position themselves in very specific points in our sky, creating a very distinct union, which opens a direct portal between the physical and spiritual worlds. So the Lion's Gate is a time of increasing cosmic energy that leads up to a direct stream of powerful energy that streams from our reality to the spiritual world, from our reality to the upper vibrations and dimensions, and allowing for the unimaginable to be accessible. I'd say accessible more easily. All right. Now, some people have heard that 8/8, August 8th is when the Lionsgate opened. It's been open, but the significance with August 8th is that it's when the alignment between our world and the spiritual world is at its most highest potency. It's like the fullest time of the full moon, when it peaks, and the same thing with the new moon. So this is the 8/8 is like the peak, the highest potency of the Lionsgate being open. And this is a powerful, monumental stream of energy. And it's available for each of us to align with our ascension energy in a way like never before, for the abilities to be heightened and increased. So it's really, really very powerful. So it opened July 26th, and it stays open until August 12th. All right, so from July 26th to August 12th, with August 8th being the highest potency. Okay, so there's a lot of powerful energies coming in. So everything is really heightened within us. Manifestations can be very potent. You can see that it can maybe faster. Sound, we're very sensitive to sound and vibration, and your voice, and we're going to talk more about this too. The voice, the sound, the humming, the singing, we are energetically aligning with our desires and our intentions. So we are also able to have direct communication, or let's say clearer direct communication with our masters, who have taken the oath to lead and guide and protect us here in that physical, well, we're not in 3D, I mean, post 3D, our past life memories of any ancient civilizations, Atlantis and Egypt, and our frequencies of those past life memories, we can maybe remember some of those past lives. The number 8 also provides prosperity and abundance energy, which is the frequency. And yes, with money, 8 is a very powerful number, even in feng shui, and it's known in all cultures as a very abundant number. Okay, so we have sun codes. They actually call it like the Galactic New Year. All right, so we have the sun codes that we talked about before, not from our physical sun, but Helios. And more people are making comments about how, yes, the sun seems more whitish. I know we've talked about this before, how the sun does look different. And most absolutely it does. All right. So let me just do a check here for a moment. All right. Okay. We're good. So just want to make sure everybody can still hear me. We got everything. Okay. All right. Oh, here we go. Okay, so hello, Amy. I just want to make sure I'm catching up here on everyone. And let's see, Sandy. Hello, everyone having issues with staying connected to soulmate. Okay, well, Sandy, this is all part of this process. And where if you're meant to be in a relationship with someone, you will stay and navigate through it. If not, then it'll be time to leave. And soulmates come to us to help us to remember who we truly are, even if they mirror back to us some of the things that we need to work on. All right. And so that's something that's all part of our purging that we're going through. All right, this is part of, since this Science Gates opened, I have to tell you, since Friday for me personally, there's been so much agitation and irritation. And I sit in a lot of other sacred circles with a lot of other light workers. And that seems to be, everyone seems to be the same way. The last couple of days has been rough. And what we're feeling too is not just our own. Remember, we're all part of this earth, and we're having these experiences together. We are all one. And so as we are ascending, and as 3D, the third dimension, is grinding away from these upper and pulling away from these upper vibrations, we're feeling that grinding and that irritation. And we feel that within us too. We can feel things surfacing up. This is no longer for your highest and greatest. We're going to purge, get rid of it. You feel that on the inside, and then we mimic that around us. And a lot of people, when I say that we're going through major purges, people purging their homes too. This isn't a seasonal purge. everyone's picked up on this. They're just like, every day, it's so strange. I'm going around my home looking for what's for my highest and greatest when don't I need anymore, and getting rid of it. And it's not just a seasonal, every 3 to 6 months, okay, time to get rid of things we don't use, wear, whatever anymore. This is serious because we are purging so much, mind, body, and soul on a daily basis. It is affecting our where we live, our homes, our environments, which is good. This is kind of okay. So how can I make the sacred space around me better, right? And let's see, who do we have? Julia, yeah, it hit me, but through a physical and health issue. Well, yes, absolutely. Yeah, it comes in like that too. It really can. It's part of the way that it purges. If we don't take care of it, if we don't catch it, all right, have conversations with your body. Quite honestly, we all know when something's not right. We know it, but when we ignore it and continue on, because we can feel it in our aura. Our aura is our luminous energy field. It's our energy field around us. We are very sensitive to this. Empaths are very sensitive to it. And I'm really, all of us are stepping into this ability. That ability is awakening, the empathic, the sensitivity. I feel this. But when we're not properly addressing the trigger of what we're feeling and it settles into our body, it's not the end of the world when it settles into our body. We can remove it once we identify the trigger, and then let's heal it. All right? Let's purge it out of us. The thing is that when we purge and remove something, if they're, especially like in our aura, in our energy field, we have to immediately, we just remove something. We've got to put something right back in there, not leave it open. So and that usually happens so simultaneously if you're purging using love and light. Love and light removes it. It's immediately done. Bam. Very good. We're not walking around with all these holes. Okay. It's you have to understand it's all connected. The purging, the purging, and then also to the fix of the purge. So it's what they say, like the death and rebirth. It's all part of the same thing. All right. So it is being filled. But if we don't properly release it, it can come back. All right. And sometimes some issues are so big that it takes just several purging processes, and that's okay. All right. But just know that even though it may feel like things are getting harder, it's actually getting easier. And I know that probably doesn't make any sense right now. All right. But it does. And we just have to stay focused on the here and now, and staying grounded, and just staying in the upper vibrations. It's all of us. How many of your meditations even different? Aren't your meditations different now? I totally find that our meditations are so much different than they used to be. And it's as far as it feels like we don't need to meditate as long. It's almost like a walking meditation. It's just such a part of our life, right? Okay, let me read some comments here. Sarah, I've been feeling irritated a lot today. Yes, I put myself in timeout. I had to put some Indian flute music on and help me relax. Exactly, right? You having to put yourself in timeout. And that's how it was. It's like, oh my gosh, Friday, it just hit me hard that I had to get up and walk out of my office and go sit outside for a while. And I'm like, what's going on? And it's like, I'm usually really good with everything. I don't understand. It's just the energies that's going on. We're feeling everything. Okay, so Chris, good evening, everyone that had trouble getting on tonight. Yes, Chris, you missed that part. It's just from now on until there's a big update with Be Live TV. It's the TV studio we used to stream through Facebook Live. And they did a major update, which I love the new studio, but some of the features and things have changed. So it's I can put a promo out for, hey, it's going to be at 8 o'clock, but to go live, I have to create a whole new link. So that promo that went out was ticking down, and people are probably staying there at that link. So just from now on, I'm not going to put an actual link that counts down. I'm just going to go live on Goldylocks Productions Facebook page, and you'll see it. Just go to the page and wait at 8 o'clock on Sundays, Eastern Time, and you'll find the show. Okay, so right, Amy. And hello, Tammy. Thank you for joining us. Thank you. So it's like with anything new, there's a little bit of bugs and things that needs to be tweaked. And it's so that's what happened, Chris. But thank you so much for joining us. And so it's like right now, the comments in the studio froze that I can't put them up onto the screen. I could at first, and then it stopped. It's all right. We're going with the flow. So let's see. What's this from Wendy? I've been going in like a zone where I stare blankly. I thought, hey, am I meditating when I do this? Yes, Wendy. That's what I'm saying. We're becoming walking meditations. It's just when you apply something to your life, it's just such now a part of your daily life that you don't even really pay attention to it because, okay, hey, cool. This is what we're doing. And like grounding. But it becomes so natural to us that we've developed such a discipline that we're no longer, I need to take time and go out into nature because we're going out into nature. I need to do this. I need to go meditate, and wherever that is. Usually out in nature is like the best place. But you can take yourself there if you can't get outside. You can meditate indoors and just visualize you're outside is fine too. The thing is that when you are strong in that, doesn't your meditation almost seem like astral? But that's while you're grounded, going into the upper vibrations, right? So yeah. Chris, I came home from work Friday and just exhausted. Was in bed by 8:30, right? See, that's what I'm saying. Friday was hard. And that was how I think I do believe Friday night, I just was like, I gotta go to bed. I just can't take anymore. And I have to tell you then Saturday was very rough for me until like afternoon time. I had a very hard morning, hard afternoon, and it was everything just purging out of my body. But the way it was purging my body, it was just like, oh my gosh. You felt like you're dying. No, I'm kidding. But I know we like sometimes over exaggerate, when we don't feel good. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm dying. I don't feel good. Well, the parts of us are dying off. Absolutely. The parts that are no longer for our highest and greatest are dying off. Hello, Robin. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. So, and it can feel like that, right? Oh my goodness. So what I would like to do before I go on any further, but the thing seems to be always what I hear, even messages, is raise your frequency, raise your vibration. That's the answer to everything right now. And it is. Raise your vibration. Make sure you're grounded. Raise the vibration. Raise that frequency. Even if you have to do it staring off, daydreaming, humming. We talked about this before. Start humming music. As we're getting this upper vibration, we're being more sensitive to music as well. And so we are a music box, essentially, pure energy music box. And so sound is even more where you can do some chanting, do some humming, do some singing if you like to. Singing's always good. If you don't like the sound of your voice, change that. Put on YouTube, they have lots of like Om chants, and then there's even some shamanic drumming and chanting. That's really nice. That's grounding. And I think it's like the best of both worlds. And there's shamanic drumming and chanting. So that can really take you there. And you have to be comfortable with your voice. And have you noticed that those that are angry really, because their energy is all stuck and they have a hard time coming out, and it almost sounds like when they do, they're yelling like through a microphone, or they're just yelling because they have blockages in their body and they're trying to get their voice out. And then when they do say something, it's explosive. And so that's and you may see some people like that as they're starting to purge and they're starting to awaken, and they're working everything out. Don't be so quick we shouldn't be judging anyone. We need to really be observing, though. But as people awaken, they can seem like, oh my gosh, you're so rude. They're tuning in. And remember what it was like when we first did that, when we first started to accept and to tune in. We did some purging too, and maybe might have come across as that we were just crazy and not not light workers, but just batshit crazy people. So be careful as these people are awakening. There's still chance and time for them to embrace this ascension process. All right. So we need to have patience with that. But again, raise your vibration, raise your frequencies, answer to everyone, to everything. You've got someone in your face that's angry, send them love and light, because that's what they're lacking and that's what they need. You just send them that. And I know it may be hard to, but when you get used to it, it's just like, you're not ignoring it. You're taking care of it. All right. By standing in the love and light and just shining that to them. And it's to people, situations, everything. Okay. Yeah, Chris, you missed it. We were talking about the Lions Gate opening. Yes. Yep. It is open, and that does affect us. Absolutely. It seriously does. Did you get the joke? Seriously. Anyway. All right. Gotta have some laughter too. Gotta find, laughter. Yay. All right. So I know I've talked about a lot of things. It just seems like the world is just crazy as well. Mass shootings are happening. The Earth's purging too. The people that don't want to stay here, how else are they going to leave? And I'm not saying that everyone that exits right now exits, okay? Whether it's for karmic reasons and it karmic speeds up, or they don't want to ascend. Not everyone who is leaving this earth plane at this time is what you would consider, and this is why we should never judge, are bad. There's a lot of everything has to be balanced. Energies coming in and going out. So what we call victims, or those who were innocent, they signed up to hold the balanced energies, all right, of the spirits coming in, spirits going out. It has to be in balance, the good and the bad. It's all one. And when we stop separating, and we understand and realize that, it gets easier. Okay, so now, these energies. When I get around a lot of energy, I start burping. Hey, better this end than the other way. But anyway, how does energy work through you? Chris, I sent love and light to this chap that was working with me, and he quit 2 weeks ago. But you know what, Chris, that's wonderful, because maybe he was stuck and you helped him to get unstuck, right? So yes, Maureen's a Leo. Woohoo! Yeah, happy birthday, Maureen. Yes, tell the Leos. All right. Oh, so let me take a sip. And also too, stay hydrated. I'm drinking a lot of water. A lot, which is good. Keep drinking. Keep raising the vibration. Again, so many things, whether the news, the media, this upcoming 5G. Now listen to me. I know I've talked about this in the past, in past shows, and it's just for awareness, and that's it. To let you know this is what's happening. I'm happy to see there's a lot of 5G summits and health summits. There's a lot of these big events and expos and conventions happening now, which means that awareness is coming to is mainstream public now, right? So that's good. It's all we want is for people to be aware. What I don't want you to do is to fall victim to this, because listen to me now. 5G is not affected in 5D. You get it? Isn't that kind of cute? 5G does not affect anything in 5D. Doesn't affect 5D. And I know we talked about this before. Trying to say that you don't need protection in the upper vibrations, because what are you protecting from if only high vibrational and frequencies exist on that level? For all the same, there's no protection required and needed from other people, situations, and things. And this is the same thing. We don't need protection from that because it won't affect us. Okay? Now, does that mean that you can't do things anyway, just to, hey, whatever helps? I mean, I do. You know, I got a Wi-Fi box. I put a box inside our oh my goodness, our Wi-Fi. It's like in a cage, right? And so it protects from the radiation exposure and everything else. I'm going to take those precautions. For my cell phone, I found, now I'm not endorsing any products here. This is from Defender Shield. Has some really great stuff. And I have one of those really big Samsung phones, right? Well, instead of they do have cases specifically for each type of phone, but I don't want to do that, because how many times we go through phones so much, and now you're stuck with the case you can't use anymore because they're always changing the size of these cell phones and these smartphones. So this is a pouch. This is actually called a pouch, and it fits, any size up to 3.5 inches, I do believe. But look, it just fits right in there. Like this is, it looks like I can still see, the light doesn't cover that. But guess what? My phone's not putting off all this EMF radiation either. All right. It has a belt loop on the back, and that you can Velcro the belt loop too. So it's great for men. My husband loves his. He put it on his belt. The thing is that it's not against your body like this. Your phone, the smartphone, is not against the body anymore. It's in this protective case. This one with the pouch, I said, and also has a little front pocket to put something else in if you want to. I find this, I love it. Now, I don't keep a cell phone on my body. I don't put it in my pockets or anything. But if I had to, I'm protected this way too. So it's great belt loop for men. Oh, it also has like this little thing for pens for men who like to, there's little pens, or your device has something. Anyway, I was very pleased with it. Again, the company's called Defender Shield. Again, I'm not endorsing, but sure, I don't mind taking extra precautions because I can feel it too. Get hot in my hands just in using it. So I just taking a little precautions, but staying in the upper vibrations and staying in those raised frequencies as well. Okay. So, did you hear hey puppies, Chris is high. So anyway, and so there you go. And So just with everything going on with this weather, and we know this tremendous natural disasters and occurrences, we've talked about that. The earth is changing, shifting. She's raising her vibration. We are right along with it if you want to. So let's just go on. Now, there is where we can feel tiredness, frustration, agitation. We talked about this, the cloudy headedness. It's all really our energy that is being cleared, purging, right? Now, we are protected, and if you want to call in, I call the quadruple. You got the 4. And 4 is very, very powerful. It's like the angel number, right? So these are people that are involved in my angelic committee. All right. So when you think about that, 4, the power of 4, here is your personal, I call protection, your personal number 4 protectors. All right. So the first one is the legions of Archangel Michael. So Archangel Michael he's in charge of, quite honestly, the United States. Did you know that? Archangel Michael is in charge of the United States. This is why a lot of us feel him. And I'm not saying that no one else can, okay, that no one else can, that lives in other countries. No, you can. Absolutely. He's available for everyone. All right. But it's that he is in charge of the United States, Archangel Michael. So him and his angelic realm, all right, they're good at infusing energy into a structure, into an area, into a sacred space, and maintaining the structure itself. And the structures can be like crystalline grids, all right? It's how we see a building, but there's maybe a geometric shape really energetically to that. So that's what I'm talking about there. But most definitely we call on Archangel Michael to help with protection and putting energy into sacred spaces. So into your sacred space, him in that realm of angels. So the second one is Grace Elihims, the Elihims, the Grace Elihims. Anyway, they are this group of light beings, these that represent loving, feminine, nurturing power, all right, and restores divine balance. The divine feminine is restoring divine balance, all right? Now, this has also been called like the divine lubricant. It looks like, for those that see the energy, it looks like iridescent snow. Now, this is where you can also, is it an angel flash? Is it a fairy flash? Is it that snow? Also, too, it could be a unicorn. Unicorns hang out with these divine feminine energies. They come in that way. So when you start to see these flashes of white, know that that's that realm, that those light beings that are coming in. So number 3, and I just name, I may know their identity until just recently. It's the Zor Continuum. The Zor Continuum. Zor. And the group of beings who embodiment, such as magnetic, etc. Her inhabitants, us Earthlings, through the electromagnetic shifts that we are experiencing, in preparation for 0 point, which is the ascension. They are always available to assist upon a request. Now, I realize that this group here are these pure energy people I said I've always talked to that were with the angels. But they don't really care about what you call them or identification-wise. But when it's, okay, I knew they weren't from this universe. They weren't from this system. But you have to be careful. Now we can talk about this stuff, but, years ago, you couldn't say who you're talking to or you would end up where, And then your security circle. Your security circle. This is your circle of security, is number 4. Your circle security, or your security circle, sacred circle. But again, this is all part of my angelic realm, which is all 4 of them. But in this circle of security, we have the other archangels, we have guardian angels, and these other ascended light beings. We have the Arcturians and the Arcturian dragons. And this is who leads this security circle. The circle of security is Commander Ashtar. And his sole mission and job is to keep our planet safe. You know that? Isn't that great? Okay. Keeps our planet safe. Keeps all of us safe. And so know this, and it just makes sense. Lady Gaia, Mother Earth, is a living being. And she agreed to have everything happen, to be in the upper vibrations at first, and then to fall down to 3D, and then to, being abused and everything by the people who live on you. So, of course, you wouldn't agree to something like that if you didn't have protection, right? Well, I'm going to need some backup. And so she has always had that backup. And those that were waiting and having faith in us in the ascension. So, yay. All right. Now, I would like to do something. Maybe we'll do that at the end. I'm here and do that at the end. Okay. We'll do a little meditation or a little sending healing out. Okay. So if we do that, then let's get some crystals ready. All right. Those who like to have their healing crystals ready. The last 5 minutes of the show, we will send some healing out. I'm going to send it to a very specific place. And I'll talk about that later. Okay. So and crystals really, really help. They have been with us for so long. There's so many cultures for thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of years. Now, we can also, and again, do we need all these protective things, the cell phone and Wi-Fi boxes and whatever? That's nice to have. But you know what? If you put crystals all around your house, if you're having a crystal grid, that is protection. And I'm finding too, more and more people are incorporating more copper, because when you look at the old headbands, all right, which were antennas or, for receiving, right? It was gold or brass, all right, silver, and copper. The 3 conductive, but copper is very, very conductive. And I have a lot of copper around with my crystals. All right. So all we got to do too is put crystals on our body. That helps protect us, right? And know this, that there is crystals in our computers. There's crystals in our cell phones. There's crystals in a lot of technology. So can we tap into and program those crystals not to be harmful? Aha. So you're going to, your crystals that you love to work with a lot, whether in meditation or put them on your body, have them protect your home, just being there. love on each crystal, program your crystals, all right, to hold your vibration in the 5th dimensional frequencies. And ask your crystals to hold that program. They listen to you, they respond. Absolutely. Hold the program of the 5th dimensional frequencies. Talking to my amethyst here. Yeah. Hold it. And so when you hold this, you'll feel almost like a force field. Whoa, whoa, whoa. You know, it's almost, and it connects with like the cosmic heartbeat. All right. So just feel that. It really works. And you can do this with all your crystals. Now, I kind of giggle. I just wanted this, I got to bring this up. All right. Well, I think I still left this on here. Let me take this off. There we go. Is that, is these crystal water bottles. Have you seen them? You probably, you know, if they're all over. I've seen them on Facebook ads, social media ads. I've seen them everywhere. These, I hope they're not plastic, but these glass bottles with these really tall crystal points in them, these crystal wands or crystal points inside them. And it's supposed to enhance and recharge and revitalize and restructure your water. All right. You got to be very careful with this. I mean, you got to just talk about this. All right. Some people have been putting crystals in their own drinking water for a long time. You know, just take a glass of water and then stick your crystal in there. However, you can't just stick any crystal. There's very few that you can use, believe it or not. And they have to be cleansed first. All right. You really want to make sure they're clean because they are porous and they attract bacteria. So it has to be clean. Just like would you use your same drinking glass over and over without washing it? Ew. Ugh. No. All right. Well, it's the same thing. If you do put crystals, now a lot of people have great success with putting crystals into their drinking water, and that's fine. Some crystals, though, disintegrate when they're wet. The common stones that you just can't get wet include amber, turquoise, red coral, fire opal, moonstone, calcite, kyanite, kunzite, angelite, azurite, selenite. Pretty much, did you see a pattern? A good rule of thumb is any stones that end with ite, I-T-E, they are not water friendly at all. I've heard someone say that they add some tiger's eye in their drinking water just recently, and it was, oh my. Tiger's eye and lapis lazuli can leak toxins such as copper. And as much as I love copper, we don't need to ingest it. Inside our bodies is not very kind. It's very toxic. So do not put tiger's eye and lapis into your waters because they are very toxic. And we just don't want that copper exposure. We're trying to detox, eliminate toxins, not add more, right? The best ones to use, safe to put into the water, are the clear quartz, the amethyst, the rose quartz, and obsidian. Obsidian is, we know, glass, right? So if you put your own crystals in the water to drink, it must be cleansed first and after each use, which we just talked about, because moisture allows bacteria. So if you want to get one of those fancy, real popular, but they're expensive. They're like $100. If you want to get a crystal water glass bottle, make sure it's BPA free. Make sure the crystal is encased from the water, that it's shielded from the water. I have seen some where the crystal's on like this little platform and there's holes and it's got like some kind of metal going through it to hold the crystal to this platform, but it's purely exposed in the water. So I'd be concerned too, you're getting exposure from that metal that's holding it down, so let's be smart about this and sensible. All right. The really good ones, and they're expensive, encase your crystal against the water. All right. So make sure that it is shielded and not directly in the water for those types. If you're going to get one of those fancy schmancy, look, it's the new trend. Sigh bottle. But know this, all you need to do really is to hold your crystal in your hands and bless your water with the sip. Okay, so I've got my crystal in my hand. I've got my glass of water. I can sit here and hold it. And okay, yeah, remember I've already programmed my crystal for the 5D frequencies. But you know what? A blessing is gratitude, and gratitude and grace takes you to those upper vibrations and frequencies very quick and fast. So then you take it and you can Reiki it, energy heal, bless the water. And I always like to swirl the water around a little bit. All right, just swirl it. I visualize like a spiral as I'm doing this with the blessing. And bam, there you go. All right, you can do this. Because many people, there's been cases where, you tap water and you put a crystal in it and it purifies it. All right. But I'd be very careful with that. We can bless to purify it. I think a lot of people may not have that confidence in themselves to purify, but we can bless our food and our water and everything that we can consume. All right. So let me read some of these. Yes, Chris, there you go. Set the crystal beside the glass. Perfect. Same thing. Just put it beside the glass of water. I put crystals all around the computer, crystals around. All right. Absolutely. All right, Amy, I was reading about using water to clean my amethyst just before the show. There you go. It doesn't need harsh chemicals. All right, at all. You can just use some very, just water. I actually don't expose any of mine to water, and I just my energy. That's how I cleanse them, because I'm not putting them, though, in water. If you're going to do the crystal water technique, then yes, wash them. Make sure that they are washed with as little chemicals, 0 chemicals, in kind of chemical wash or soap or whatever you use. Be very careful. All right, and water. Vinegar might hurt some of the crystals, but water. Just make sure, that you even use just a very soft brush to go over, because remember, it's very porous. It has some holes in it. So you just want to take like the little scrub brush, and you're not going to scrub so hard, but you're just going to get the bacteria out, rinse it. And again, if you're going to infuse it in the water, you have to take extra care and extra precautions. All right. Let's see. Chris, I use my crystals in rice, but I don't eat the rice after. Same like Amy, I was wanting to rinse off the rice dust. Yeah, absolutely. Amy, rinse it off. Yes. I just use my energy. Always have. We are good enough. We are divine beings. Our energy is very powerful. So much more powerful than rice. So absolutely, we can just cleanse it. Cleansed. Same way we program. All right. It's all from within us. We can do that. Just cleansing. Cleanse it. And there we go. Same thing as if someone comes in or somebody touches your crystals. I don't mind some of them if, they're holding your grid. And people are, oh, it's nice decorations. Well, it's so much more than just decoration. It is, It's actually part of a grid. So someone touches it, it's okay. I just reprogram it with my energy. Easy peasy. Same thing we would do and should do when you first buy them, because if they've been sitting in some kind of crystal store or wherever you purchase them from, you want to reprogram them with your energy. Okay, so there you go. And it's like the same way we bless our food and drink, and we bless our crystals, we bless everything. And so there you go. So I just wanted to go over that with you because I thought it was quite anything with the fad, right? Just don't get taken, and be very careful, because then it can be dangerous. And especially if they don't know what they're doing, some of these companies. And my goodness, please, things like that, you want to be very careful where you're ordering from. Okay? So Chris, dry rice, uncooked. Oh, yeah, I know what you meant. Yes, it was definitely dry rice. No, not cooked rice. That's cute. Wendy, do you still sell your chakra grids? Wendy, I used to make these chakra grids, and I would make them for the 7 chakras, and I put them on a slice agate. I don't have one near me because it's on my altar. Slice agate, put it in a circle, 7 grids with the crystal pyramid in the middle, a miniature crystal pyramid in the middle, and with your pendulum. It's an easy way for you to find out what chakra's off balance. I still have several of them here, but I don't make anymore because we're moved from 7 chakras to 12. So I've got to come up with a different design. I'm still designing a chart with the 12 chakras as well. And so I know we've gone over, there's some out there, but it's our chakras are changing colors as well. So just to help you for how we are transforming and to show this was the color, this is the color now. And so 12 chakras, just know that. So if you want to make your own grids, I called it the health grid. It's just you find a flat piece of agate, all right, which is a stone. Like I said, so instead of 7 chakras in a circle, 7 stones in a circle, all right, you can put 12 now. And that middle stone is supposed to be like center, base, center, balance, where you start from, right? The balance. And I like to use the pyramid. You can put any kind of stone in there, but I always, for the center of these healing grids, is a small pyramid. And you can get them in different, you can get them in clear quartz crystals. You can get them in any type of gemstone material. And then I actually, after I make a grid like that, I put it on my altar, bless it for 7 days, smudge it, everything, incense, to get it programmed for 3 to 7 days, depends. And then, you either use it for your own healing clients, or you get, if you're making one for someone, you're going to always be concentrating on their energy, and then teach them with it. They have to select a pendulum and how to match the pendulum up with their grid. And then they can just, with the pendulum, point it to the center. All right, show me what chakra's out of balance. And I'm telling you, it works. Right? It really, really works. So, I buy the 12 chakra grid. You're so sweet, Teresa. I got to get started in it and doing that, because it's like, all right, we've got to do, but it really does help us. It really does. And you can even, and I know some of these who are very creative, get the really long selenite wands, and instead of the 7 stones, now you're going to put 12, represent each chakra, 12. And so that's why it's like, so what do these colors look like now? Message me. I'll let you know what they are if you want to make your own things. Maybe we can devote a show to that. I do believe those who have had a recent healing session with me, they're called Cosmic Heart Healing Sessions. All my healing sessions now, well, not all of them, but a majority of, if you want one-on-one personal healing, it is working your 12, realigning, clearing, cleansing, all your chakras and the 12. We're working with the 12 chakra system. Okay, even though there's more, but it's ascended from 7 to 12. So that's, and those that sit in these healing sessions with me, we go over each of these chakras and the colors and how they've transformed, and the planets, and even the angels, archangels that are in charge of it. So there's a lot of information too in your healing process. And I do believe I have to go back and revisit the Activate Your Avatar course that I made, because even that, or that I channeled, I should say that was channeled, because I think that it's already, I feel, and what I'm being told is I need to look at it. So usually when I have to look back over a course, they're telling me that there's more upgrades already, which makes sense. Even though I channel it, and many of you sitting in the Sacred Circle took the Activate Your Avatar course in the fall, but we're moving so fast and there's so much information coming in. So anyway, all right. So let me see. Could you use a slice of wood for the base of the grid? Absolutely, you could. Yeah. Just make sure that and I know we all do this, that the wood is acquired, that, you just know the source of the wood, where it came from. The trees were chopped down so you could have your grid. You know what I'm saying, though. But yes, absolutely, would be very nice. Again, some people can put it on copper. I know copper is expensive, but a sheet of copper, and shape it any way you want to. Now there is, I don't think I have the pictures on hand. I have them on the computer though. But have you ever heard of world's crystal grids? There are crystal grids that were planted in the North and South Pole. I do believe in all directions. I have to brush back up on that. But they were copper cut into like a lotus flower or a flower. And then they're very intricate, very well made. And they were stuck in each of these locations around the earth. So you could do something like that too. If somebody who does metal work, like I said, you could put them on any type of gemstone wand. You want to use them that way. Yes, a piece of wood, whatever your element is, you can do that. So absolutely, Wendy, and I know Wendy's her mind's already going. She's very creative. She makes jewelry and things like that too. So that sounds awesome. It's very, very awesome. It is. So you know what? I will post them on the in the Goldylocks Productions page. I will post those pictures, if not tonight, tomorrow, of the World Peace Grids. They're called World Peace Grids. Thank you. And here, and also in the Goldylocks Productions group. This is what I was taught or shown in when I went through my Usui Reiki. My teacher was very thorough, and she was here's some more information. And I thought that was very interesting how these grids were made. All right. Are they still there? That's something I'll have to update too, and make sure that, hey, are they still there? But yeah. So, now my nose is itching. All right. So we're going to end this show with a nice little meditation. But when I explain what we're going to do, we're sitting in Sacred Circle. I can feel where the energy yanks. I need you to open your mind. What I'm going to say next. I've talked about this before in a past show. I've only mentioned it briefly because I don't talk about politics. And but that Trump was very much needed, and to be in office. I asked this, and I knew this. So when people focus on how the heck did he get in there, the universe put him in the office because he needed. That's his mission. Why in the world would they put someone like that in there? Because he's different and he's getting the job done. Whether you agree or don't agree, we take history, put it aside for a moment, political history, whatever. All right, humanity needs this to happen. There was a president that was supposed to do this, but his mission, his focus was off the United States and on the world and trying to create a one world order. Does that sound familiar? One world order, which would have hurt the United States. Now, you have to know, way back in our history, the founding of the United States, there's a reason we had to be here, and even just light up the North American grid. It's not just us. Hello, Canada. Hello, Mexico. All right. But it's important for us all to be established here in this part of the world that we're in. Now, like them, don't like them, it doesn't matter. This is where we need to go soul to soul to people and understand and respect their mission, even if you don't know what the heck is going on. A lot of us don't. We don't even know what's going on with ourselves. All right, now, Trump represents USA's shadow. I may agree with that. He represents the shadow. He mirrors everything. He is purging USA's shadow, the dark part. Why? Because the shadow brings in the light. Remember that. Shadow brings in the light. The shadow clears the path for the light. So where he may not get credit for that, but someone coming in on a beam of light may get all the credit for it. The path clearers never get credit for doing their shadow work, for doing, so, but we are expanding and being more aware and conscious. So thank you. Okay. So just know that. So what we are going to do is calling in Archangel Michael, who's in charge of the USA. And you can do this if you're not in the United States. Do this for any government. Okay? So if we do all this simultaneously, it's going to be very, very powerful. Those in the United States, I want you to picture the White House. Those in other countries, what do they call them? Parliament or your government facility, whatever that is called. Visualize that. And if we do this, and you can do this anytime. So we picture the White House in your mind. White House and the government. Now, we're going to take Archangel Michael's deep blue light and have it shine down into the building. Asking Archangel Michael to please shine your deep blue divine light onto the White House, onto all government facilities. Visualize, see, and feel that deep blue light just saturating in these areas. Not just the buildings and the structures, but all those involved, the beings inside. And we're going to ask that the fifth dimensional blueprint be placed over the entire buildings. That the 5D blueprint is placed over the entire structures, government structures, and the people, the government. And then we can expand that out into every country's government. So see that blue light expanding out in all directions. It feels really good. So if you're one to watch the news, catch the news, catch yourself. Stop the mind. And you shine the blue light. Ask Archangel Michael, step in. Step in. Oh, stop. No judgment. I see this. Let's clear it. We can do this. We are doing this. All right? There we go. Another 10 seconds. All right, it's done now. All right, everyone is done in the group. Okay, there we go. Know that you can do this anytime. You can go back and do this. And I know a lot of you, we've worked the grids. We've certain places around the world, certain portals that are reawakening that were dry and closed, and they're coming back into activation, and all around the world, the oceans, the land, well, even the structures. So there we go. Just remember that Archangel Michael to help heal the government structures, the buildings, and the people inside. It just puts like this beautiful, encases them in this light and in this state of being. The fifth dimensional blueprint is set. And we can keep doing that, whether it's to remind ourselves. It's twofold, isn't it? You know, you're sending out healing, you're receiving the healing. And so that we know that it's working. And it is. We are getting signs of this ascension every day. If you know how to find them, don't just look at the shadow part. There's light to each shadow. And that balance, that equilibrium. And so that's the place to be. All right. Woo. So thank you everyone so much for sitting in Sacred Circle with me. I wanted to show you this new deck I got. And maybe next week I will spend some time and be happy to give you all some readings, some messages. But I like Elena Fairchild. There's a lot of great decks out there by different artists and writers, but I like Elena Fairchild. This is the Crystal Mandala Oracle deck. Very nice. I just got this, so I still have to, but they talk about 444, 888 numbers, and trying to, let me see, pull this card. Ooh, Crystal Goddess 888. Integrity. See, so that's just like some of the examples of these cards are just so beautiful. Crossroads of Destiny. Woo! Anyway, we'll work more with these next week. And then there's another deck too. I'll share that with you. But it's fun to share these Oracle decks with it, because I know a lot of us, we like to collect crystals, Oracle decks, and pendulums, and all these wonderful, fantastic, tools that we use. There's nothing wrong with the tools. All right. So if everyone wants to get in touch with me, many of you know how, but those who are watching for the first time or listening for the first time, my website is whitesagewoman.com. That's how you can get in touch with me. And be sure to subscribe to their YouTube channel if you haven't done so already. And that is Goldylocks Productions, Goldylocks with a Y, on YouTube. And we also are on Patreon if you would like to check that out as well. So thank you again, everyone, for sitting in Sacred Circle with each and every one of us. The giving and the receiving of healing has been so very powerful. I feel like I'm on fire right now. I'm on fire. All right. Many blessings to each of you. And I will see you next Sunday, 8 p.m. Many blessings to each of you. Thank you.
Thanks for listening. We hope you enjoyed the show.